That's kind of close. Okay, so I just wanted to do a notice or a disclaimer because someone had told me about rosemary. A hairdresser had told me about rosemary oil for your edges to help them grow back quickly, because she told me that black castor oil was only really moisturizing it and not really gonna stimulate it to grow. So she suggested rosemary oil. So I did some research. I went and got the rosemary oil first, and then I like looked up research and stuff just to see if there was anything I needed to know before I started using it. And there was a warning for people who are breastfeeding or pregnant. Now, it did say that there wasn't much evidence or research done on people who are lactating as far as how it affects the person or the baby. It had a few things that it said about how it affects pregnant people, but that was only if if you ingest it, not using it any other kind of way. So I decided to just try it out, just because I figure, hey, it's something that's kind of natural, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And I was only gonna be using it like a little bit, like literally like a drop or two, one time a day. So I figured it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So I had a dropper, and I only put it. Of course, you can't see it now because I have on a wig, but I put it in this area on my head, and it's literally like a little circle. How I'm doing my finger on this area, and then I put a little bit on this area. And then I put like the two drops that I put in each section here, I smeared them down and smeared it across there. I did that one time a day, and I only did it for 2 days because I'm breastfeeding at the moment, and I've been breastfeeding for 7 months now, and out of the whole 7 months, I've never had a problem with my nipples being raw or sore or anything of that nature from him eating or from me pumping. And I didn't change how I do any of it. He hasn't changed, how he eats, of course, but I haven't changed like my pump settings or anything like that. So in my head, of course, I was already on alert to see if I noticed any changes. So I was paying attention to every little thing, and that is one thing that I noticed, that if you, and like I said, I use it topically, just here, like 4 drops total for 2 days, one time each day, and I smeared it across the front, and that's it. And I wash my hands after. So just it on my edges for 2 days, it made my nipples like sore, like to the point where it was like I almost didn't want to let him eat, or I didn't want to pump either, because they were just that sore and raw. Like it felt and looked like a chemical burn on the underside of both of my breasts, on my nipples. So I'm guessing that's a side effect. Sore nipples. I'm not sure if it has the same effect if you are not breastfeeding, like if you just a normal person per se, if it would affect you in the same way. I'm guessing it wouldn't. And then another thing that I noticed also, the first time that I put it on, I noticed after I fed him that he would do like a little head tilt that was like so random. It was like I was like, that's weird. It's like he's never done that before, and I was like, I doubt that's like a developmental thing to where that's like a milestone he needs to hit. So that was after the the actual first day of using it. So, like I said, I was like, I was questioning it then, but I was like, it's topical, so it shouldn't be that bad. I did it for a second day, and I noticed his head tilt again, and my nipples, like I said, they were unbearable. So I was like, okay, it has to be the rosemary oil. So I stopped taking it, And it's been like a week and a half maybe at the most now that I've stopped taking it. And I put excuse me, Vaseline on my nipples to help them heal, because I was putting the sore nipple cream, nipple butter I think it's called, in a yellow tube by First Years. I was using that on them to kind of, moisturize them, and that's what you normally use if you have sore nipples anyway. So I was using that at first for the first few days to try to help it heal and not hurt as bad. That didn't do anything at all. Like, it would make them feel okay, like stop the little burning sensation for the first few minutes, but then it was nothing basically. So I was like, well, Vaseline helps everything else. Like, if you burn yourself, put Vaseline and you're good. So I decided to put Vaseline on both of them. Not a lot, just enough to coat it to where it was pliable, moisturized and pliable, to where it didn't hurt to move my nipple. So I did that the other day, and I did it twice. Like, I did it after I took a shower, and I did it when I pumped when I was at work, and that helped tremendously. Like, they don't hurt as bad anymore. The soreness has kind of gone away since I started using the Vaseline, and of course, I'm guessing because it's moisturized and it's not like drying out with the nipple butter. And when I pumped at work after using the Vaseline, it was back to normal basically. I didn't feel like I was gonna die, literally, like, or they were gonna fall off and just bleed out after I pumped. Like, I was able to pump, because the other day when I was using nipple butter, I kind of like was in the mood to like refuse to pump because it hurt just that bad. But I used Vaseline and that solved the problem. And basically, once I stopped using it, and a day later he stopped doing the head tilt thing. He didn't do it a lot. When he did do it, he did like a few times. But once I stopped using it, a day after, he hasn't done it since. So it's been like a week or a week and a half, and he hasn't done that since. I guess I should tell you like what the rosemary felt like. It feels like peppermint oil. I don't know if you ever had peppermint oil on your scalp, or like sesame blue on your scalp, or anything that tingles. I'm trying to think of something that you may use somewhere else. Bengay or Vicks Vapor Rub or something like that. That's what it feels like on your scalp. So I guess that's the stimulating sensation to get your blood to flow in that area. But that's what it feels like. It just sends like a little tiny tingling sensation wherever you put it. And the smell of it is very, very strong. So be advised of that. And I will say this, I didn't dilute the rosemary oil into any other oil. It was just straight 100% rosemary oil. So maybe if you dilute it, you'll have different results. But I use it straight, and that was a no-go for right now. I may dilute it later once I stop breastfeeding. Of course, I'm not going to do it again while I'm breastfeeding. So maybe once I stop breastfeeding, I will try it again if I need to. But hopefully I can do some other things, like use black castor oil again or something else that's safe while breastfeeding. Because I won't be trying that thing again. Anything that says beware if nursing or pregnant. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there for anyone who may be considering it, because some things I know that says be careful when lactating, because they don't know the side effects and stuff like that. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that says that, but some other things that have said that I've tried unknowingly. Like, I tried it first and then went back and, I was questioning something, went back and read, and it said, okay, don't use this while doing this, but it didn't affect me or my baby or anything like that, any kind of way that I noticed. So yeah, just be careful out there. I won't be trying anything, since that has scared me a little bit. So I hope this helped you and answer any question that you might have about taking it, while lactating. Or definitely don't try it when you're pregnant, but while lactating.